In Rebbe Nachman's one of his most important lessons, it's called Azamra 282. So Rebbe Nachman talks about finding the good points even in what's called a Rasha Gamur, a completely, totally wicked person. He says there, Rebbe Nachman, that you should do your best to find the good points even in somebody who is totally wicked. Rav Nosson adds a dimension to that, and it could be sometimes that you yourself, in your eyes, you see yourself as being the totally wicked person. But in any event, both cases, both scenarios, whether it's you or somebody else, if it's in the status of a totally wicked person, how could it be, Rebbe Nachman says, how could it be that this person has not done any good ever in his entire life? You must sift out and find this good. This is what Rebbe Nachman says in lesson 282. However, there are other types of completely wicked people who it's totally forbidden to find their good points in what they're doing. To explain what's the differentiation here, in this lesson 282 Azamra, where Rebbe Nachman talks about finding the good points in a totally wicked person, we're talking about a totally wicked person who reveals and shows some type of indication that he wants to come back, but he doesn't know how, and he feels so miserable. He feels and he sees and he believes that he's a totally wicked person, and he brings proof to you that he's a totally wicked person. That type of a person, Rebbe Nachman is pointing us to find his good points. But if you have a totally wicked person who continues doing bad, and he's not interested in repenting, and he harms people, and he's doing evil, and he's bringing people down, and he's causing major damage, then obviously you have to be a nut house in order to justify, to find the good points in such people. They're not so bad, they're not wicked, they're not so that wicked, they're good people. You have to know when to apply finding the good points and when not. Here in lesson Azamra 282, Rebbe Nachman's talking about finding the good points in someone who has some desire to become a good person, but his actions are totally evil, totally bad. But he's giving indication to wanting to become better. But you have people, not passive people who are actively doing evil and bad, bringing down people. And like the big leaders of garbage and bad throughout history, to mention a few names, just an example of people, it's going to be a political class if I mention names, but there are people throughout history who were evil, bad, and brought down with them many other people. Such people, it's forbidden to find their good points and to assume by finding their good points I'll bring them back, because there's nothing here, there's no handle to even hold on to bring them back, because they themselves are not interested in a wake-up call, no indication of doing any good. Where can you see that such a thing exists? From the Egyptian that Moshe Rabbeinu smit, right? The Egyptian that Moses saw hitting the Jew, and Moshe saw that no good person, no good descendant would ever come of this wicked person. So he said a holy name, and he killed this Egyptian, right? So here's an example of someone who's totally evil. There's no good to find in him. Moshe tried to see if some good would come out of him. No good came out of him, so he had to be punished for what he was doing. This indicates that you have to know where to draw the line. When do we begin to apply finding the good points? When you find somebody who is sincere, who is honest, and even though they might be totally wicked, but there's some handle of honesty that you can use as a justification that this person wants something good, then you are obligated to activate Rebbe Nachman's teachings of finding the good points. So you'll see it's a fine line, and you must delve in to know when to apply finding the good points in a totally wicked person and when not.